Not really, but better.
God damn it.
Please put that intro. Please put
Yeah. I will with the bleep.
The pre-show shenanigans. This is not professional.
Right.
We don't have professional lighting. All right, I'm good.
All right, we'll do it live. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are Tailgate Talk. Welcome into the show. I'm Matt Thomas. With me, we've got
wait, we got to stop. We got to stop. I got that stupid. Well, I have it off for other participants.
Well, that better go in too then. With the timer.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I don't have anything else to do tonight. It's good.
That's good.
Okay, we're good.
All right.
5, 4.
Wait. What are we talking about? Like,
we are Tailgate Talk. Welcome into the show. I'm Matt Thomas. With me, we got Trent Williams, Kyle Schumann. Kyle Maloney is back, but he is too excited to come join the show tonight because it is week 1. Penn State takes on West Virginia in less than I can't math in a very short amount of time. 5 days, 4 days. It's Tuesday, so Saturday we'll be in Beaver Stadium again. Guys, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited. It actually feels like game week finally. It is, but it feels like it. Getting everything ready for the tailgate. Got the turkeys today for some good deep fried turkeys this weekend. So it feels like I'm prepping for a big game, and it is here finally.
It's still too hot for turkeys. It's too hot for turkeys.
It's not soup.
Yeah, it's too hot for that was hot. We were warming our asses around that last year in November. We don't need that now in August.
You don't need to stand around the fryer while it's going.
Yeah, you do. What's the point?
Yeah, that's true. Half the fun is watching it.
From which game did you make the deep fried turkey for last year?
Well,
whatever it was gone
remember.
within. It was what? How big was turkey? 10 pounds? How big was it?
No, like almost 20 pounds. Yeah, gone in seconds. Gone in seconds.
It was gross, but I played a big part in that too. But
yeah.
Real question is, do you guys get the grapes yet?
Yeah.
Is that
got a whole dump truck load coming.
Good. I had Tailgate Food of Champions.
No grapes last year, and guess what?
We lost 2 games. We lost 2 games.
The Rose Bowl, but we won the Rose Bowl.
Yeah. Well, you want us to lose.
The math
isn't
perfect.
Again,
the math isn't perfect.
Well, that's true. I mean, if we win the Rose Bowl this year, it means we won a playoff game. So,
well, he wants us to lose 2 games again. In case you didn't watch the preview episode, so
I'll have 2 grapes just for my picks to be perfect and to sabotage everyone else's fun this year.
He looks like Darth Vader in this lighting here. Can't really see his face. The shadow. All right, let's get into some real football talk here, fellas. It is week 1. It is finally here. We've waited long enough.
Yes. We had James Franklin's press conference today, which we didn't get too much. Drew Aller's still not the starter officially. He talks for 5 minutes about how great Drew Aller's playing in camp, and then are you going to name him the starter? No, we're not there yet. So
yeah, I mean, he's literally why do people care so much about such stupid things? He said Drew is the starter in as many ways as you can possibly say it without saying it. He constantly talks about him. He takes all the reps with the ones. Every other players, receivers, tight ends are taking media and they're talking about their connections with Drew. It's clear. It's just. And he even specifically was calling out stats. At one point, he was talking about like all the stats they track, and he said that Drew hasn't thrown interception until like the 13th practice or something like that. He said,
"Yeah, I think so."
I mean, it's just whatever. Who cares? Saban's going through it.
There's no real advantage for him not like. I mean, West Virginia knows Drew Aller starting.
See, that's the thing. Dusty and Danny I was listening to this morning, and they were going on about Saban's press conference because Saban's not releasing a depth chart or the quarterbacks or anything. And they were saying how, like, it's so dumb. It's just it really isn't doing anything for anyone either way.
Yeah, it's all just gamesmanship. And then with the Big Ten's rule about doing the injury reports 2 hours before kickoff now. And it's like, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. Like, like it's literally all just gamesmanship, but
Yeah.
whatever. It's fodder. It gives us something to talk about.
Yeah.
The only other thing that came out that I was interested in was the red light, green light stuff. So
Yeah,
Tony
really,
Rojas, King Mac.
really just the green lights.
Yeah, today. Tony Rojas, Elliot Washington, King Mac, Zion Tracy, all green lights, which I think is to be expected. I mean, I think everyone's pretty high on Tony Rojas now, but King Mac, watch out for King Mac. I think he's gonna play a lot this year, I think, if nothing else on special teams.
Yeah, I mean, he talked about, a big part of their green light was pretty much because of the amount they're going to play on special teams, and that they're, the closest of all the true freshmen that are ready to play defensively as well. So
yeah. Abdul last week at practice told us that he thinks that Rojas will get a decent amount of playing time. But if you want to know more about that, you got to go to basicbluesnation.com. So, and follow us, like us on social media. I always forget to say it at the end. We're doing it now. So that way I don't have to say it at the end. Just follow us. So
look at that podcasting right there. That's
what you call a transition. Which, I mean, you could use some transition lighting. I mean, geez. But
seriously.
And now when you look up again like that, no, like you just did up at the light, looks like you're getting called to heaven.
My calling.
or spaceship or something. All right. Anyway, are we gonna do West Virginia breakdown or not?
Yeah, one other thing, sort of out of that press conference, but not entirely, but Franklin touched on it, is the coordinators were released, and a big deal was made. Yeah, so I think we should touch on that with Yurcich calling from the booth instead of the sideline, instead of the field. So interesting change. I mean, it's not, most odds coordinators would prefer to be in the booth, so that's not shocking, but it's just the fact that he made the change now is a little bit surprising.
Yeah, especially when you have a 19-year-old starting quarterback, whoever he is, unless it's Jackson Smolik, and then it will be, I guess, an 18-year-old. But yeah, it's a little weird. I'd be interested to hear from Yurcich specifically why that switch is happening now. But I think it speaks.
Do you have any concerns about it, you think? I mean, personally, if Yurcich feels like he would be more comfortable if this team would be more successful by him calling plays up there, I'm all for it. I'm just trying to think like what could be a negative side of things. I don't know.
I mean, besides the obvious, you're not there to be in your players' faces. You're not there for that sideline point of view. And but really from an offensive perspective, I mean, you want to see the plays up top.
Exactly.
So
which is why we sit where we do, because we want to see the play.
Well, it's true. I mean, I like sitting higher. We had that talk. It was the last call question. I prefer to sit higher for that same reason. You could see everything develop. You could see the whole field. It's definitely better for an offensive play caller.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it just kind of speaks to the staff that they have too. I mean, they've got a bunch of veteran guys there, especially Danny O'Brien and et cetera. So I'm not concerned about it, but if we come out and lay an egg in the first half against West Virginia, then maybe I will be concerned about it. Be turning around to him and telling him, get down there.
You see Mawini and Matt just climbing through the press box windows saying, get your ass back out there.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen Mawini in a while, so I don't know if he's alive or not.
Is he going Saturday? I don't even know.
I don't. The weather looks nice. He might be going for a hike or something. I wouldn't want to waste that opportunity if I were him. So, Winnie, we love you. We miss you. Come home. Anyway, West Virginia, country roads, take me home. Couch burns. All right, let me warm myself up. It's been a while.
Ooh, those calluses on those hands.
I know that's what a real man's hands look like, Coco.
You need those moisturizer. You need that big bottle of moisturizer again.
Well.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Literally a military grade supply of moisturizer on his desk.
My hands get chapped for the winter. Now I just use. They don't sponsor the show, but Myers Clean Daily, which Winnie told me is very bad for you because they don't have natural stuff in there. But I'm going to use it.
No essential oils.
Yeah, very true. But
all right, let's get to the football game, please.
Yes. All right, West Virginia, 60th meeting between the two programs. Penn State's 48-9, 2 all time, 31-3 at home. First meeting since 1992. West Virginia is not very good.
No,
No.
they're not.
Which side?
I thought there was going to be a chance that this game was going to play closer than a lot of people thought. The more I dug into this West Virginia team, I don't see it. So they're not good.
Yeah, no. I mean, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, they were last year, dead last or close to dead last in a lot of areas. Let me see here. Where is it? 115th in scoring defense, 97th total defense, 66 rushing, and 110th passing. So if you're gonna break out a first year starting quarterback, this is the team to do it against, I think.
Yeah.
So
I mean, offensively, they're going to be a run first team. They do have that stud running back coming back, CJ Hamilton, I think his name is. He rushed for like 6 yards a carry last year. Wasn't he like a tight end or something that they converted to running back? Something weird like that. He's big. I know that. And then they have another returning back. So they have 2 returning backs, but I mean, that's where their offense pretty much running the ball is where it stops because they have a solid offensive line. Franklin in his press conference touched on how, some of those guys we recruited pretty hard to come to Penn State. And they have 5 returning offensive line starters. So it's the entire offensive line is back.
One interesting thing I want to see is how their wide receiver transfer, Devin Carter, plays. That's one thing I want to see because I know he did transfer to Penn State, right? Or he almost transferred to Penn State. How that whole unfolded.
He committed, I think, and then decommitted, and then within the transfer. I don't know. Transfer portal's weird.
Yeah.
Who knows? But just keep it cordial, Kyle. We have a reputation to uphold.
Yeah.
But
I think what I say.
You don't yell at them. I'm just saying, don't yell at them this weekend. Be nice.
Oh,
be nice. Yeah. Mind your P's and Q's.
I'm excited. Kyle's talking about things we're excited to see. I'm excited to see how our D line performs against this offensive line, stopping this run. It's a good test. I mean, although West Virginia as a whole may not test our team fully in a lot of areas, the defensive line and those linebackers helping to fill gaps. Some of the things we talked about needing improvement will definitely get a good run at their money in this first week. So that I'm excited to see. Really, though, I mean, I don't see our secondary getting too much work. I mean, their quarterback play is they even have a starting quarterback? Are they still up in the air on a starting quarterback?
They have not. They're not going to announce. That was the official word out of Neil Brown yesterday. But I mean, everyone thinks it's going to be Garrett Green. 490 yards last year, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, mainly a running threat though. So
yeah.
Speaking of Neil Brown, that guy is probably the hottest seat or one of the hottest seats in football this year right now. His track record's not been good at West Virginia, and if we blow them out, there's a small chance that he may just be gone and they do start the coaching search of West Virginia after game 1. Because why the hell not?
Well, you look like you're on the hot seat right now with that investigation like you got going on there. Looks like you're being interrogated on like NCI.
Does the light dangle above you?
No.
On this episode of NCIS Pottsville. but yeah, no,
this thing's gonna fall on my head.
That would be great. That would be great for
that was better.
But yeah, I mean, I always hate that. Like, if you're gonna fire someone like 2 or 3 games into the season, just fire them early. Like, what?
Yeah,
Yep.
It makes no sense to fire. Like, why even bring them back? Especially, when you're looking at the West Virginia schedule is no cupcake. They're opening with us. They have Pitt again in the backyard brawl, and then they have some really solid Big 12 teams on their schedule this year. So it is not a joke. Why waste your time bringing a coach back if like they get blown out by Penn State, who many people say are a playoff team, if you're just gonna, throw in the towel after that.
Yeah, from that perspective, it kind of gives a little bit of like Auburn vibes last year with Harsin in that game. But generally, I feel like this gives like Minnesota whiteout vibes last year. where like you're getting yourself hyped up because it's going to be a big game. Like the atmosphere is going to be great, but once you get into it, it's just going to kind of be like, there's going to be a
I
lot
think
of running the ball. There's not going to be a lot of passing. Like,
I
Yeah,
think we
but
mentioned it last
defensive side.
episode. We mentioned last episode that like when this game was scheduled, how many years in advance, everyone was like really looking forward to it. Oh, two big programs, close rivals, all this stuff, and then you're like, we're gonna just it shouldn't be close. This game shouldn't be close.
Which one of you or your brother was a West Virginia fan growing up, Coco? Was it you or was
Oh,
it
I
Derek?
love Pat White. Pat White was and Steve Slayton.
Yeah, I
That
figured it
was
was you.
awesome.
With the NCAA
That's
2007,
the only reason
2008.
why I like them is because they were unstoppable in NCAA football,
Well, maybe they'll be
and
there.
well, they need it. They need everything. They need everything and anything this season.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how the passing game looks. Like our passing game. Like I don't know. I was hoping that you'd hear some rumblings about a receiver or two separating, and it just doesn't seem like we have that so far in camp. There's a couple of guys that are, whatever, but nobody has separated. And
well,
I mean,
Well, if there's a game to
I
do it
know,
against, it's probably this one.
I know, but
eh,
I mean, what's that saying though? I mean, according to Franklin, the quarterbacks are still in competition and haven't separated. So
yeah, well that's different. He has
yeah, he's
lit up
made
the
that.
receivers when
Yeah,
they need it.
he's made that more clear. I agree. I'm not near as worried about our receivers as a lot of people are this season. Honestly, I think we have a lot of solid guys that are going to go out and play well. I think we touched on this a little bit, but I mean, if you have, if you don't have that one stud, of course, like no, they don't have to worry about that guy as much. But at the same time, if you have like three guys out there that are all equally as good, you could spread the ball a lot more, and defense isn't going to be as focused on a singular guy. So
We just need that one guy that can stretch the field. Like that is what the offense, especially last year and the year before, was missing. Like that guy that can just go deep, especially if you have a quarterback like Aller who can get it deep and precise. Like it
yeah,
just will open up the entire play.
he
Or
should. I
Bo.
mean,
Or Bo.
or Bo.
Yes, or Jackson.
Or yeah,
Or
can't forget about Jackson. We should have a fairly clean pocket all game. I mean, the D line should. I mean, we have a very good offensive line ourselves this year. Their D line is not good. So we should have a clean pocket. Honestly, we should be able to run the ball and throw the ball. Either way. I mean, we should not have to rely on one or the other this game. We should be able to do both relatively freely, I would think. So
yeah,
we should get a good feel for both of those games.
Yeah. Offensive line, though, is actually a little bit interesting to see who's going to come out there. I mean, obviously, you've got Olu pretty much locked in. You've got Hunter Norzad at center locked in, but, you've got that
Olu's only pretty much locked in.
Pretty much locked in.
Can never be sure.
Yeah. You've got the battle over on the right side for both positions, and you've got Landon Tangwall, who is apparently hurt. I just love how it's like deep state secrets. Did you guys notice on Twitter last night where Phil Troutwine had the dinner at his house and they took the group photo and he's not in it? Like it's so funny how they do that with anybody who's injured.
Yeah.
Just like pull them out. Like so you don't have the whole Drew Alar boot gate thing last spring.
The attention to detail.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes, and especially because for the first time in 12 years, I feel like people are optimistic about the Penn State offensive line. Like, well, geez, when was the last time that we felt good about the offensive line going into the season?
Not even good, just like not an offensive line that's not like a detriment to the team or a holdback or anything like that. It's like, wow, this offensive line is going to be good.
Yeah, it's refreshing.
Yes. Do we have anything else to touch on this? I mean, I feel like it's a pretty straightforward game,
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we're sweating late in the third quarter, only up by like one score against this team, then
I guess, I mean, defensively, we just need to stop the run. Just throw everything at the run and make these quarterbacks, neither of these quarterbacks are very good. You don't hear much about the receiving core. Make them throw the ball. If you stop the run, I don't see any way West Virginia could put up a fight in this game. Like I said, I think the big test is going to be our defensive line against this pretty good offensive line and pretty good backs to see how we look pretty early on. But I think those are the two units that are really going to get tested this game.
Yeah, I concur. All right, Coco, let's bring it back. We're going to bring back Pick Your Plate for those, two of new viewers that we have this year. Pick Your Plate is our gambling segment. Coco, the accountant, did not do a very good job of keeping track of everything last year.
No, you just said that because you lost. I think Winnie actually beat you last year. I think
there was some funny number works going on.
Mash is butthurt because he came in 4th place last year.
I mean,
there was some there was some mid-season changing of records from mistakes and I forgot this game and it was a little unprofessional.
We need Matt to talk to Basic Blues, I guess, an intern to help us keep track of all this stuff.
I mean,
that's their only job.
I'm pretty sure I could go upstairs and get Fred and teach him how to do equal sum on Excel. But
doesn't he wear diapers?
He did. He had to wear a diaper today, and he had a nice little surprise in his diaper when it came home too. That was great. I love that. But
all right, well, as much as I want to talk about your dog's bowel movements.
Speaking of flaming hot shit, let's do our gambling. So last year we knew the bets ahead of time. This year we're going to do a little bit different, where Coco's just going to surprise us, and we're just going to do our cold hard takes.
All right, we'll do our game first here. We're favored by 20.5 against West Virginia. What are you guys thinking?
Oh wait, I forgot. Trent never gives a score prediction, so we don't have to. We don't, whatever.
Well, all right. Before we get into Pick Your Plate, what's your score prediction, Matt?
I'll do the score prediction here, but you never give us a score prediction.
Doesn't mean I still pick the spread. I just don't give exact numbers. How many of them did you hit last year?
I was pretty good on a bunch of them.
That's translation 0. Kyle, how many did you hit? Translation 0. No one ever predicted the score right. So what's the point? I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead.
What's the point of this whole podcast then?
Trent doesn't like fun. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah,
I do like fun. I went 5 for 5 in my week 0 bets, so I'm on a hot streak to start. Like I said, I thought West Virginia was going to play us a little tougher than a lot of people thought, but as I just dug into this West Virginia team, I don't see it. I think we cover the spread, and I can see it getting ugly. I really can.
So you go that far, you can't put a number on it. 45-14, Penn State.
Kyle did the math for you. That covers.
That's good. I'll go 31-14. We cover. No, sorry, we don't cover. We don't cover. We don't cover. I forgot we're 20.5.
And then everyone wonders why I questioned the results.
We don't cover. Yeah. And the under hits. The under's 50.
For those of you looking for accountant services, please go to.
Yeah. I like the under because it's a tight squeeze, but I don't see West Virginia scoring too much.
No, I don't think so either. Especially game at home. No, we got this one. All right,
two other games here. Thursday night, Utah's at home against Florida. Utah's favored by 6.5.
Cam Rising is the question. Big difference maker. We seen that a little bit in our game last year. Experienced that firsthand. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to take Florida to cover.
Does Coco Sportsbook have any inside knowledge on Cam Rising status?
No, the Sharks were giving me anything. So
that's because you lost all your you lost all your connections in the Iowa and Iowa State programs that got you stuff
Yes.
last year. So, I'll go Utah. I think they cover. I think it's gonna be close, but they cover. That
Yeah,
elevation.
I think Utah covers too. I don't think Florida's gonna be good this year at all with all the crap they're going through.
Me neither. But didn't Josh Pate lean towards Cam Rising not playing?
I think so. I think
And
they've got a
Josh
physical enough team.
Pate's word is like, as good as gold. So if he says Cam Rising's not playing, I say he's playing.
Well, I'm a free thinker, Trent. So
yeah, right.
Last one here, Sunday night, LSU is favored by 2.5 versus Florida State, and that game is, I think it's in Orlando, I think. So
yes, it is. The Camping World Stadium. We have memories of that place. Almost getting shot going in to the tailgate. Good times.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have memories, but not good ones.
Not good ones. The pictures. Side note: the pictures from that game still come up on my Amazon Echo or whatever in the kitchen, like the slideshow. And I always just see that all the time, and it makes me sad. But anyway, with Trent's rosy red cheeks from the sunburn that we got because we weren't used to being in the sun in January.
It was hot.
But anyway, Florida State. I think both teams are going to be good, but I'm on the Florida State train this year. I think they've got a lot of veteran talent, so that comes in handy week 1.
Same. I feel like Matt and I have been in lockstep on pretty much everything so far this year.
I'll go LSU then, just to be contrarian.
You do look like you could be from the Bayou.
Go Tigers.
Yeah,
and that's all I got.
Oh, okay then. All right, well, that concludes Pick Your Plate, I guess. All right, last call?
Yeah, so no, I was going to go into last call.
All right, go.
We'll go.
All right, so yeah, it's going to be my last call question this week. But then moving forward, I'm going to ask this question every week and see how it changes.
So he's just lazy. He's lazy. He's lazy.
It's going to be my last call this week. I'm going to ask the same question every week. So we're in a unique spot as Penn State fans. We're coming in as legitimate playoff contenders here. So the question is, what percent do you give us? What percent chance do you give us to make the college football playoff this year? So currently week 0 before our first game. What percent chance do you give us to make the playoff?
20.
Kyle?
10.
10%.
Wow. Well, he does have us going 10-2. So
exactly, I was going 10-2 until we win one of those games, and I'll drastically raise my percentage there.
I'm a little higher than Matt. I was thinking in the 25% range there.
25%.
I did.
Really?
Brandon Walker named us as national champions. Josh Pate has us in the playoffs. I think if you played this, so look at it this way. If we just played this season 4 times, do you think we make the playoff one of those 4 times? If we played the season over 4 times, I think so. So looking at it that way, I think 25% chance is a fair number.
I don't think
it's high. That 25% chance is extremely high for a program like ours.
I don't think I could do 4 seasons worth of podcasts, so I'm glad we're only doing it once, and we'll just hope that.
But I mean, do you see what I'm saying, Kyle? Do you think if we played this season over 4 times, we'd make the playoff one of those 4? I think so.
No, because it's always end up we'll get screwed over in a tiebreaker somehow, or we'll usually probably lose both games in most cases, or we lose in a tiebreaker. So probably not.
Well, you're down. You're negative on the season, anyways. So.
I am a negative.
All right.
I'm a negative Nancy this season.
I have our numbers. I'm going to track them, and next week after week.
It's such a cop out, though. I'm going to ask the same question every single week.
Well, no, it's not going to be my last call question every single week. This week is my last call question. Next week it's just going to be part of the pod. I want to see how that number changes, Kyle. I mean, if we're undefeated going into Ohio State, your number is going to be higher than 10%.
Let's have a little graph going.
Yeah, there we go. I'll put a graph. I'll put a graph out there how our percentages change throughout the season. And when we're going into Michigan undefeated, Kyle, I don't want you to be at 90%.
Well, I can change it. That's the thing. I can change
I
it.
know you can.
No, we went through this last year. You can't change expectations. We
I
talked
can't.
about this. You can't. Whatever you say now is how you have to feel, no matter what new evidence you get, Coco. That's what all good scientists do.
No, we're not changing expectations. We're changing percentages.
You were literally asked, what level do you expect Penn State to be in the playoff? That's literally what you asked.
What percent chance did you give us?
Yeah, it's an expectation, question of chance. All right. My last call. Drew Aller over or under 250 passing yards?
Under. We're not going to need to throw the ball that much.
Yeah, I'm thinking along the same lines. I think we'll be able to run the ball pretty freely. But it only takes like one big play to get over that 250 mark. But I'll go under.
Yeah, I think under two, just because I think it's going to get out of hand early, and I think he won't need to play the entire time. So, Coco.
Does Penn State have more total touchdowns against West Virginia or tackles for loss?
Oh, you really came up with that one on the spot, huh? Yeah, let me think through this.
T&T.
I mean, I'm going to say more touchdowns because their offense line's good.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to tackles for loss. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. I feel like we should get after the quarterback. I don't care about this offensive line.
Yeah, but if Matt and I would have said, I
would go the other way.
You're like Winnie. You have no logic behind it. You just go with the contrarian.
Yep.
Well, back this investigation of Kyle Schumann. Until next week, we'll get some better lighting. We are Tailgate Talk. We'll see you on Saturday in the fields, and Penn State will be back in action. Follow us, like us. I always suck at these endings, but until next time, we are Tailgate Talk.